Today we're going to go over an issue I'm having with my cr80r 1997. I've already removed the carburetor down to the slide because that's how they slide out, because my choke was bad on my carburetor. This little guy right here is what this bike came with, and the choke was broken off, and I was going to try to fix it and clean the jets on it, so I took it apart, and when I did this, I did it the wrong way. I officially did it wrong because I tried to use a pair of vice grips to get the jets out, which is something you never do. These are brass. And when I did that, I destroyed it, and when it came to the price between the choke and the jet and everything, it was just cheaper to try a different carb. So I went out and ordered off of Amazon from Motor Buddies a replacement for the cr80r. Very similar in design, a couple different ports a little bit, but besides that they look very, very similar. So I'm going to throw this thing on here and see what happens. And what I tried to do here, with other carburetors I've gotten lucky. I was able to just take out the slide and swipe them out. So if this one fits, I'm going to do the same thing. Spin that cap back down on there. And you got your in and out. Slide her on in there. Cut it so you got a little room, but you don't need to have it all crazy like that. Use cutters or a knife. I use whatever I could find first. So I'm not a professional mechanic. I just like doing stuff myself. And I've had really good luck with some of these cheaper carburetors. One of the other ones once had a slide stick, but that's nothing. I was out in the trenches when I did it, so that can happen. We got that, we got that. Very simple setup. That's your input line, that's your choke. Here's your gas. I want to tighten that line up a little bit. If I could. Because even before I broke that other carburetor, I had to use ether to start it when it was cold. And that's something you really should not do, especially on a two-stroke. Because if it won't start cold, it's either having an idle issue or something's clogged. Or the choke won't. The choke doesn't work. And mine was the choke doesn't work. Tighten that down on there. This is all in mock-up. We're going to see what this thing does. First, turn the gas on. See if you got any leaky leakies. I see no leaky leakies. I'm not going to tune this or anything. This is the way it came. We'll back this out a little more. This thing's ice cold. It hasn't been started in days. I may have to adjust the idle and stuff, which is to be expected, but we'll see what it does on its own. Don't want your fire off of ether. What kind of fuckery is this? It's broke. Look on the side of these carbs, there's a vacuum port. I don't have my vacuum plugs and all that kind of stuff here with me, so what I'm going to do is use the extra gas line that it came with for now and throw a screw in there. Just this is all to test. So I got my plug in there to stop the vacuum leak. I got my Adjustment about yo high off the bottom. And we're going to throw it back on here and see what happens. We'll see what it does now. I readjusted things and I don't know what to expect. So when you don't know what to expect, you film it. There you have it. Exactly what it was. And a bit of an idle leak. Running pretty damn good. That's exactly what it was. It's exactly what it was. I'm not going to let it run long for now because I want to button everything up without it getting hot. And I want to recap. So as this thing comes, it comes with an open manifold port, and you got to put all your throttle cables back to zero before you even try to do anything. Throttle cables back to zero, that's with the choke on. Well, don't do what I just did when it comes to adjusting the idle. You need to adjust the idle once it's warmed up and you have it off the choke. So I would not do that. I would have let it warm up, take the choke off before I adjusted the tune. So upon reflection, the carburetor does work. A couple little things, like I wasn't able to do the cheat with the slide. I had to put the right slide in it, which isn't a big deal. Put the right slide in it, readjusted the cabling on it, and it fired the bike right up. So for the money, I can't complain. It seems very responsive. It wasn't dumping a bunch of smoke, so I'll be able to adjust the air fuel properly. But the biggest concern, like the whole point of this video, really, is that vacuum port on the other side, right next to the idle screw. I mean, because this is really a level, this is the kind of thing that anybody could do. It's not a complex repair at all. But you gotta plug that manifold port, because that's for tuning. If you don't plug that, it ain't gonna run. So get a vacuum port, or come up with something to plug that line. After that, get your base screws, couple screws out, let her get a little warm and a happy hunting. Right about there. Came out pretty good. For the money, I can't complain. You just gotta take your time, plug that vacuum line, tune it, use the choke to your advantage. Well worth the 60 bucks. I'd buy another one. Everyone have a good day. I would definitely recommend buying one. Take care.